गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम बैक टू पैसा बोलता है। पैसा बोलता है में फिर से आपका स्वागत है। मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन। क्या एक कंपनी जिसके पास 70% का बैंक मार्केट शेयर वो हो सकती है? ऐसा भी हो सकता है क्या? ऐसा ही हो रहा है भारत में और इसके बारे में हम बात करेंगे। कैन अ कंपनी विथ नियरली 70% market share, still a market leader, make such catastrophic mistake and lose its market share and allow competitors to come close? And if this trend continues, that company will lose leadership. Is it this possible? Is it for real? Can it happen? Yes, it is possible. It has happened. Maruti Udyog was the first and only company to get a license to make a small car in 1980s. It made Maruti 800 a runaway hit and runaway success. As liberalization came, it made Maruti 1000, Maruti Zen, several small cars, and its Wagon Maruti van, Gypsy, everything was a big success. And since others did not have license to make cars, for a long time it had a free run of the market. The only competitor who emerged was Hyundai, who launched Santro and several other cars with a tall boy design, which did surprisingly well. The Tatas finally got a license and they started off with Indica and Indico and Sumo. But Tata also lost their way, and Maruti had a great run in the market for a very long time. And the mark shares were listed, and the Suzuki, who was the joint venture partner, was running the company. Jagdish Khattar ran the company successfully for many decades. Somewhere along the time, the Vajpayee government decided to sell its stake to Suzuki, and Maruti became a subsidiary of Suzuki, and that is where Maruti's bad time started, according to me. Maruti was always interested in paying royalty to Japan, like what I have talked about other FMCG companies, and did and scuttled the development plans of Maruti Suzuki as an independent company in India. So everything became subservient to Japanese interests. And there it meant that except Swift Desire, no major product was launched by Maruti. But as the years rolled by, nobody tried to compete with Maruti, with Alto, or with Wagoner. Everybody was trying for the premium end of the market, and Maruti did not. Maruti was not strong on the premium end, with Esteem being its most successful product. All this is 10 years ago. Recently, about 10 years back, I think, Maruti decided to go with a premium brand. So, this premiumization meant that Maruti wanted to develop a new brand. What happened was, Maruti wanted people to move up to the next level and stay within the Maruti family. And therefore, they started a sub brand called Nexa. In April of 2015, Kimchi Ayukawa, the MD and CEO of Maruti those days, launched the premium Nexa sales channel. And so, the mission of Nexa, like I said, was to sell premium cars. One of the first cars they sold was S-Cross, which was a runaway hit. But they nixed it early and brought in Baleno. And they launched Ertiga, Brezza, XL6, and several other cars. But nothing has done as well as Baleno, which seems to be the only major hit from the Maruti stable. Along with the way, what Maruti did is they abandoned Alto and did not bring a low end car. And they branded those who were selling Wagoner and the lower end cars as Irina Maruti. And they were selling up to Ertiga there. Ertiga and above used to go to the Nexa showrooms, and below Ertiga was with the low end sales. What happened was a classic marketing mistake where both fell between the stools. Those who went for premiumization did not buy Maruti except Baleno. They went for better and bigger brands because, in the mind of the Indian consumer, Maruti was targeted as a mass brand. And so, if they wanted to sell some other brand, the name had to be completely different, like what Lexus did with Toyota. You don't say Lexus Toyota, you say only Lexus. And that's where Maruti failed. Along the way, what it has shown is the sales of the small compact cars also stagnated and have started to decline. Maruti is now in a stuck with its major sales in small and compact cars, which people do not want to buy. Had Maruti put the same effort that it put in Nexa over the last 8 years on developing more cars, more smaller cars and affordable cars, its market shares would have expanded. The fact that the size of the small market declined while that of the premium market expanded meant that Maruti has continuously lost market shares and now at best is at 42 to 43%. Even today, Maruti is the largest retailer of cars by a huge margin, with Hyundai in second place and Tata bringing in the close third. But Maruti has not been able to develop a full scale SUV. It only has a utility vehicle, what they call as utility vehicle, not a full scale SUV. This gap was filled up by Tata's and more successfully by Mahindra, which had Scorpio and Bolero. Seeing the success of Scorpio and Bolero, Tata's reintroduced Safari, Harrier, Punto, and another vehicle to make sure that they would fill up all the cost, all the segments in the SUV, and that has proved to be a big hit. After the failure of Indica and Indigo, an attempt to enter the ultra low market by Tatas through Nano also bit dust. The Tatas re engineered themselves and launched new vehicles such as Tigor and other vehicles. So, Tatas have started doing very well in the car segment, and their SUV segment is also generating sales. Most importantly, where Suzuki has failed, globally, Toyota is trying to buy Suzuki and keep and sell it as the low end brand of Toyota. And so Toyota's products are now manufactured by Maruti and sold with a Toyota label at a premium, and the same cars are being sold by Maruti. So Baleno has become Glancer. And what has happened is Toyota and Maruti are eating into their own market shares. Since both are Japanese companies, they believed in hybrid vehicles rather than pure electric vehicles. Since they have delayed their launch of the electric vehicle, the Tatas have taken a big lead by selling more than 50,000 cars and are now going to in a position to sell 100,000 cars of electric vehicles in this nature, while we are yet to see the first Maruti electric car in the family stable. While Hyundai has already come with the electric car, though expensive at 20 lakhs. If the world goes the electric way, like what has happened in China, then 30% of today 27% of all vehicles in China is electric. The government of India has said by 2030, 30% of all vehicles sold must be electric. If Maruti is not able to launch a successful electric car in the next 18 months, it will miss out on the 30% market share and be in serious trouble because hybrid has failed across the world and will not succeed in India. Will Maruti take an independent position apart away from its Japanese parent is something we have to see. Otherwise, it is clear that Hyundai's, Tata's, and the Mahindras of the world will catch up with Maruti in the next decade. Thank you for watching पैसा बोलता है. पैसा बोलता में आपने विजिट किया, इस पॉडकास्ट को सुना, इसके लिए मैं आपका बहुत आभारी हूँ. नमस्कार, धन्यवाद, जय हिंद. आप इस वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और बेल नोटिफिकेशन पर टिका लगाएं ताकि हर वीडियो का नोटिफिकेशन आपको मिल जाएगा. If you have done all this above, kindly refer this video to your friends and relatives. Thank you for your support. पैसा बोलता है में फिर से आपका स्वागत है. मैं सिंगापुर गया था. सिंगापुर में सब भारतीय लोग मुझे प्यार से स्वागत किया और वो जो मीटिंग हुआ उसमें तो बहुत सारे अतिथियों से मुलाकात हुई और ये तो कंप्लीट सक्सेस हो गया. अगले मीटिंग जून 11 रविवार को हम कोलालमपुर में करने वाले हैं. जो कोलालमपुर में रहते हैं वो मीटिंग में आ सकते हैं और मुझे मिल सकते हैं. धन्यवाद, नमस्कार, जय हिंद.